mencapai misi yang satu, permisi kita bantu.
Tahniah. Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi Youtuber Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Okey. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera semua. Saya Cikgu Rosemawati binti Zaini, bertugas di SMK Bandar Bintulu, Sarawak, dari Akademi Youtuber bersiaran dari channel Cikgu Mr Peh KH. Okey, sebelum kita mulakan kelas kita pada petang ini, lebih molek kiranya kita mulakan majlis ilmu kita dengan bacaan Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh. Yeah. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Alhamdulillah. Bersiaran kita sekali lagi dalam kelas tuition online Akademi Youtuber yang juga merupakan kerjasama e-didik Malaysia dan Kedai Guru Malaysia. Okey, sebelum kita mulakan kelas kita, ingin saya ingatkan semua pelajar dan penonton yang ingin menghantar komen, sila gunakan bahasa yang sopan dan gambar profil yang bersesuaian dengan tontonan umum. Sila fokus pada isi pembelajaran yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Mr Peh KH, dan insya-Allah semoga kelas ini dapat dimanfaatkan sepenuhnya oleh para pelajar. Ambil peluang ini, ikuti kelas online percuma panitia fizik menengah atas yang akan bersiaran pada setiap hari Jumaat pada 8.30 malam dan juga pada hari Ahad jam 2 petang. Baiklah, saya perkenalkan guru-guru yang ada bersama kita pada hari ini. Okay, kita ada Cikgu Hasnitah yang akan bertindak sebagai control host kita pada hari ini. Seterusnya Cikgu Skor selaku pemerhati kita pada hari ini. Dan juga ingin saya perkenalkan presenter kita iaitu tidak lain dan tidak bukan Cikgu Peh KH yang kini masih bertugas di Kolej Tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah, Kuala Lumpur. Okey, nanti beliau akan perkenalkan diri lebih detail lagi ya. Okey, juga diingatkan link sijil penyertaan akan diberikan di penghujung kelas ini. Diberikan di penghujung kelas ini ya. Sila ambil perhatian. Link tersebut akan tamat dalam tempoh setengah jam selepas live. Link tersebut hanya email e-didik, Jawi, MOE sahaja, my guru yang diterima. Okey, tanpa melengahkan masa, kita akan ikuti kelas fizik pada hari ini yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Peh. Okey, dengan segala hormatnya dipersilakan Cikgu Peh.
Okay, thank you Cikgu Yani. Okay, so ini adalah kelas fizik tuition untuk subjek fizik bawah program AYU ini. So di sini kamu boleh lihat bahawa kita ada kelas tingkatan 4 fizik pada setiap Jumaat 9.30 malam, dan kini kita sudah sampai tajuk Syahirtan optik dan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Faizahz. Dan kalau anda belum lagi mengikuti kelas tersebut, bolehlah visit channel Cikgu Faizahz untuk kelas tersebut. Dan yang kedua adalah kelas seperti hari ini, tingkatan 5. So kita mengadakan kelas tingkatan 5 pada pukul 2 seperti hari ini, dan kita sudah sampai siri ulang kaji. Dan seterusnya ini adalah panitia Fizik SPM Akademi Youtuber Malaysia. Pada petang ini kita ada Cikgu Hasnitah, kita ada juga Cikgu Yani dan juga Cikgu Ko bersama saya. So terima kasih bersama saya pada petang ini. Okey, saya Mr Peh, pilih mengajar di Kolej Tingkatan 6 Tun Fatimah Melaka, dan hari ini kita akan sambung skor A+ Fizik SPM siri kedua. Dan hari ini saya akan fokuskan kepada kertas percubaan 2022 kertas 2, dan saya akan bincangkan soalan-soalan mengenai Fizik Kuantum. So sebab ramai pelajar yang risau kepada tajuk ini, so saya pun mengambil kesempatan di sini untuk membincangkan soalan-soalan yang kita jumpa pada negeri yang berlainan untuk trial exam tahun ini. So basically, format instrumen SPM Fizik mulai 2021 kita ada 3 kertas. Kertas 3 ujian amali sudah anda selesai, di mana terdiri daripada 15 markah daripada jumlah 155, dan anda akan menghadapi 2 kertas lagi lah. Kertas 1 iaitu objektif yang mempunyai 2 jenis, aneka pilihan dan aneka gabungan. Dan 40 soalan ini perlu dijawab dalam tempoh masa 1 jam 15 minit. Dan seterusnya kertas 2 yang mana kita hari ini akan fokus. Di sini ada 3 bahagian. Bahagian A terdiri daripada 8 item. Jumlah markah dia adalah 60 markah. Dan bahagian B ada 2 soalan di mana anda boleh pilih 1 soalan. Ataupun kalau nak jawab 2 soalan pun tiada masalah. Dan markah yang tertinggi akan dikira pada kertas 2 keseluruhan. Dan seterusnya 1 soalan pada kertas 2 adalah di bahagian C, iaitu soalan 11. Dan ini merupakan 1 soalan yang wajib lah, sebab hanya 1 soalan sahaja. So masa peruntukan untuk kertas 2 ini adalah 2 jam 30 minit. Okay, so untuk kertas 2, pemarkahan kertas 2 di sini seperti yang tadi kita bincangkan. Section A, we have 8 compulsory questions we need to answer. Question 1 to until question 8. So the mark for question 1 will be 4 marks. Question 2 will be 5. Question 3 will be 6. After question number 4 to 8, so there will be 9 marks for each question. So the criteria tested for each question, you can see normally there will be knowledge, understanding, and calculation. And for question number 5 and number 6, they will have the similarity where the conception will be asked. So what is a conception? So it is the comparison. The question asks about the comparison between 2 diagrams. So later on, I will show you based on the trial exam 2022. And then the question number 7 will be decision making. Question 8 will be multiplication. And then for section B, there are 2 questions, optional, and you just need to answer one of the questions. As I mentioned just now, we can answer both questions, and the highest mark will be selected for the total mark in your paper 2. So the criteria tested for this question, for this section, will be decision making also. And the last one will be the compulsory question. So the question will be regarding conception and also the multiplication. So total, we have 11 questions in paper 2. 8 question compulsory for section A, optional question for section B, and the last one will be also the compulsory question for section C. Okay, so here is an analysis I try to do in the trial exam where I able to get. Okay, so from here you can see for Malacca paper, there is no any question regarding chapter 7. Okay, and then for Kelantan, Pahang, Negeri Sembilan, and Pasir Gudang. So majority of the question they ask is at question number 1. So there will be only 4 marks lah. Okay, and then the police, the question is dropped at question number 2, so will be 5 marks. So from here you can see basically the question asked by the listed question here will be photoelectric effect for Kelantan, for Pahang, and for the police also. Okay, and then for the spectrum line, hydrogen will be for Negeri Sembilan and the Pasir Gudang here. So later on, I will discuss with you the question 1 for Kelantan, Pahang, Sek1, Negeri Sembilan, and also the police. And then for the further question I analyzed here, that you can see that mostly all the question here is also at section A. Okay, so for example, we have the Kedah question, which actually already discussed by Cikgu Hasnitah last week. Okay, so the question asking here is also regarding the photoelectric effect, you can see. So it's quite a popular question for photoelectric effect, which is at the subtopic of 7.2. Okay, and then further you can see for the photoelectric effect at the question on Terengganu also we can see the question asked regarding this subtopic, and together also with the Selangor set 2. Okay, and another popular question here will be the graph kinetic energy against frequency. You can see at Kedah, Putrajaya, Terengganu, and also you can see all the states come out the same question. Okay, so that means because of time constraint, I also not able to discuss all the question. So here I select the question from Terengganu, which is dropped at the question 4, and the total mark for the question 4 will be 9. And why I select this question, because there is only the question I get among the trial exam 2022 regarding the black body radiation definition. And then another one, I select the question at question number 6 is a comparison question, okay, conceptual question. I select the Pahang set 2. And then the last, another 3 set I able to get is from the SMKA, SPB, and MRSM. Okay, so you can see here only MRSM come on the question at section A, question 7, which is regarding multiplication. Okay, so here I will select question SPB and also the MRSM. Okay, so overall you can see there is no any question 5 come up, okay, in our trial 2022, but we can get the idea at question 6, which is the also regarding conception, and you can see also no any question come up at question 8, which is regarding multiplication. So, and section B, there is also no any trial 2022 able to see the sample of question. And for the section C also, we see all section B and C, where we expect is quite difficult one. We do have any example question able to refer through our trial exam. So we're not sure, is it because will not come out? We're not sure lah. But here I will discuss with you one question of the section C here. Okay, question 11 regarding the multiplication. Okay, and then for the section B question, which is about the regarding the decision making. Okay, you can actually watch back my example at my previous live video, which is at the checkpoint 7.2 question 5. If I say you want to see what is the sample question for section B. Okay, so now let us discuss the first question here. First will be regarding the Kelantan 2022. So this is the question regarding section A and question 1. So that means it's a 4 marks question here. Okay, so here, let us read the question together here. Diagram 1 shows light photon directed towards the metal surface. Photon electrons are emitted from the metal. So you can look at the diagram. When the photon strike to the metal surface, the photon electron will be released. So what is the meanings by the photon? Okay. So here some of the student is quite confused between the photon and photon energy. So actually both of them have the difference. Okay. So basically you can see here, this is a structure where I actually want to try to explain the difference between the photon and photon energy. So you can see an electron return to a lower energy level and release a discrete photon of energy. Then here the photon travel outward as a wave. So that means when the electron gain enough energy, so it will excited and will be moved up to the highest level. Okay, but in this condition, they is not stable. So the electron will be moving back or return back to the original level. So when the electron return to the original orbital or the level, So the energy will be released. So the energy released is known as the photon energy, or we also know as the quantum energy. And we can see the photon energy is appear as a light. Okay, so the light we know as a photon. Okay, so here you can see there is a sample picture for the photon. So this is in form of the packet of energy. Okay, so a quantum or in plural is called quanta lah. So it's the smallest discrete unit or smallest packet of the phenomenon. So if I say for the light, the quantum of light is referring to photon. So here, if you still cannot get the idea, you can actually referring to another sentence here lah. So a quantum of the electricity referring to electron. So I think this one will be more clear, right? Okay. So when we have the flow of electron, so we have the electric current. So the smallest unit for the electricity flow will be electron. So they will be same as the light. So the smaller packet here will be referring to photon. Okay, so the photon energy will be released depending on the light frequency or the wavelength. Okay, so the photon energy and quantum energy, you can see here also have the definition, a discrete packet of energy which depends on the frequency of the wave. So the photon energy is the energy carried by the single photon. So this is the difference between the photon and the photon energy. Okay, so if I say you're referring to the textbook, so the quantum energy is defined as discrete energy packet and not continuous energy. Okay, so this is more encouraged. Okay, students using the definition from the textbook. Okay, so here the definition for the photon will be, this one also I get from I referring to textbook. Okay, so the answer actually given by the scheme is referring to textbook. So it will be like this. Photon is a packet of energy or light energy transfer in quantum of energy. So this is the definition from textbook. Okay, so this will be definition for photon. Okay, you can try to remember. And then the B, name the phenomenon involved in the production of the photoelectron. So this one will be referring to this figure. So what is the phenomenon here? So it's quite straightforward question. If you already study the subtopic 7.2, so it will be photoelectric effect. Okay, and C, photoelectron will be emitted from the metal, which when the frequency of photon. Okay, so here we have the requirement for the photoelectron emitted from the metal surface. So here you need to understand the definition for the threshold frequency. BM is a frequency unbound. So the definition will be minimum frequency that can produce photoelectric effect at the metal. So here we have two figures, and actually I already discussed in our section 7.2. So this first figure here, so will be, you can see when the photon beam strike to the surface, so there is no any electron will be released from the surface because the frequency of the light is less than the frequency, minimum frequency needed for the electron to release, and the frequency we know as the threshold frequency of matter. So you can look at another figure here. So when the light strike to the metal surface, okay, so the photoelectron is released. So because the frequency of the light is greater than the threshold frequency of the metal. So here is quite straightforward. So that means the metal surface, if the threshold frequency is smaller, so they will be more easy to emitting the electron. So here the answer is quite straightforward actually. If you understand all the concept here, the answer will be more than threshold frequency. Okay, and then the second is question from Bahang, step 1. Okay, it's also section A, question number 1. So that means also 4 marks question. Okay, so here is also another question regarding photo EH3 effect. So just the way design of the question is different. So diagram 1 shows light ray at the certain frequency illuminate on the metal surface. Electrons are emitted from the metal surface. So we same concept, different figure only. Okay, so mark with tick for the correct answer in the box provided. Okay, so just now I show you already the answer. So here will be photoelectric effect. Okay, so what is the meanings by the thermionic effect? So this one you have to referring to subtopic 5.3. So the thermionic emission is the emitting electron from the metal surface when heat energy is supplied. So you can look at this figure lah. So the emission of the electron from the metal surface by thermionic emission may take some time. So here may take some time. Actually, is the difference between thermionic emission and the photoelectric effect lah. So for the photoelectric effect, there is no lagging time. So the electron will be immediately released from the metal surface if the frequency of the light is more than the threshold frequency of metal. Okay, so this is ideal for thermionic effect, thermionic emission for your reference now. Okay, and then question B here, name the minimum frequency that allow electron to be emitted from the metal surface when light is illuminated. Okay, so here what's the name for the frequency? So just now I show you already the idea. So here will be threshold frequency lah of the metal. And then see what will happen to the kinetic energy of the electron when the intensity of light decreases. So explain your answer. So here idea will be relationship between kinetic energy and the intensity of light. Okay, so here two character you have to understand here. First one will be the intensity of light will be affecting the numbers of electron released from the metal surface. Okay, so here you can look at the first figure here. So there is few electron ejected if the intensity of light is lower lah. Okay, while second picture here showing that there is more electron will be emitted from the metal surface if we given more higher intensity of light. So another one will be the speed of the kinetic energy of the electron is depending on the frequency of light. Okay, so here the question asking us regarding the relationship between kinetic energy and intensity. So from the explanation, you can see the kinetic energy of the electron is depending on the kinetic energy, frequency or wavelength of the light. So the answer here will be no change lah. Okay, and you can actually look at the equation given in the formula list lah. Okay, you can see there is no any relationship between the kinetic energy will be 1/2 mv squared to the light intensity. So it will be frequency here, you can see. Okay, so here will be no change lah. So why? The idea I already given you in my explanation just now. The first will be the kinetic energy of the electron is not affected by intensity of light, or the kinetic energy of electron is depending on frequency. Okay, here you can choose one of the answer. And this one actually is the question quite similar to the past year question 2021, question number 2. Okay, and the next question, question number 3, is also the question, sample question for section A, question 1. So that means this one also the 4 marks question. Okay, so the question will be asked regarding the spectrum, line spectrum of the hydrogen. Okay, so diagram 1 show parts of the electromagnetic spectrum. So tick for the correct answer in the box provided. Okay. Okay, so I can see there are few students on the chat room, so you can respond for the answer together in the chat room. Okay, so the type of the spectrum show in diagram 1. Okay, so here continuous spectrum and the line spectrum. So what's the difference between these two spectrum? Okay, so the idea will be also quite straightforward for SPM physics. Actually, this one will be one of the topic you will be going have extend knowledge in STPM chemistry semester 1, okay, chapter 2. Okay, so what is the idea here? So the quantized spectrum referring to line spectrum actually, okay, and then the continuous spectrum will be like visible light region here. Okay, so the main difference here, you can see the line spectrum here, you can only see 1, 2, and others lah. The spectrum is very obviously separated. Okay, and then the continuous spectrum here, you can see all the energy is actually overlapping each other lah. Okay, so here also very straightforward for the syllabus SPM physics lah. Okay, so here will be straightforward line spectrum. Okay, the further knowledge you actually can get from chemistry semester 1 lah, STPM. Okay, and then based on the diagram 1, name the physics quantity represented by the arrow. So the arrow here will be wavelength lah. Okay, will be wavelength. Okay, so the answer here will be wavelength. Okay, and then C1, underline the correct answer at the statement below. Okay, so here, this is also only the one question I saw in the trial exam, which is regarding the history development of the theory, quantum theory here. Okay. Okay, so besides Max Planck and Albert Einstein, who is one of the physicists who introduced the idea of quantum theory? So here the option is also very clear lah. So the Isaac Newton referring to the classical theory of physics lah, and Max Planck and Albert Einstein is referring to the physicists who developing the quantum theory. So here will be Louis de Broglie lah. Okay, it's very straightforward. Okay, and then the next, what happened to the photon energy if the frequency of light increases? Okay, so this type of question actually sometimes if I say you don't have any idea lah, so you can referring to the formula list. Okay, so the formula will be listed in your paper 2 will be like this lah, 1 to 9 here. Okay, so which formula you can choose? So be the first one lah. Okay, which is the photon energy represented as E and together with the frequency of the light F here. So when the frequency increase, so what happened to the energy here? So you can see the E is directly proportional to F lah, so it will be increased lah. Okay, so the answer is increases lah. Okay. Okay, and then the next question 4, okay, will be question 2, sample question for question 2 section A here is example question from trial 2022 from State of Police here. Okay, so you can look at the figure again, the question asking us about the photoelectric effect. Okay, so you are saying you're able to do the all question from the trial paper. I think you managed to understand the answer, how to answering the question regarding photoelectric effect here. Okay. Okay, so diagram 2 shows the photoelectric effect on the metal plate here. Okay, so what is a photon? You see, the question asking again the same definition for photon. So that is very important for you to memorize, okay, the definition for photon. So this is the second question we see already. And some more, I just select few of the questions from the trial paper. There will be more trial example question regarding the definition for photon. Okay, so again, the answer I selected here will be the definition from textbook lah. Photon is a packet of energy, light energy transfer in quantum of energy. You can choose one of the answer here. Okay, and then the B. So for me, I think the place come out this question is quite easy lah, because you see the B asks you to define the symbol H and F here. Okay, so the H will be represented as the Planck constant. It's actually bonus question, I think. Okay, very straightforward and easy. And then what is the F here? So the F will be frequency lah. Okay, so it's a very easy question. Okay, and then the next will be, okay, why I select this question? Because this police trial question is also only the question asking about the application of the photoelectric effect. Okay, so for the application for photoelectric effect, you can actually refer from our textbook. There are 5 example of application for the photoelectric effect. So you can refer textbook last subtopic. Yes, I think it's the last subtopic of 7.3. Okay, so from the example given by the textbook, here we have 5. So the first one will be LED light along the route. So you can just look at the textbook. This is the first one, will be this. And then the second will be the solar power generation plant. So will be this. So the textbook given us the example of the non-complex solar power plant located at Sahara Desert, right? Okay, so you just give the straightforward answer. No need to give many explanation. Okay. Okay, so and then here Kelvin Yap asking about the slide PDF. Actually, the slide PDF I already put at the description, and actually the chat room I also put the link already, so you can just click the link provided at the description or the link at the chat room lah. Okay, so thank you all, Kelvin Chan, for your response and interested for the question. Okay, and then the second will be the light detector at automatic door. So this one also the answer from textbook. So all the answer we're trying to get in our textbook, which actually you already learned now. Another one will be the image sensor. Okay, so and then the last one will be the operation of the International Space Station. The short form is ISS. So you can see all the answer provided at the textbook already. Okay, so you just choose 2 of the answer here, then you can get 2 marks already. Okay, so this is the idea for the question from police, okay, which is the only question I see asking you about the application of photoelectric effect. Okay, and okay, so start from question 5 will be a question with 9 marks already lah. So question 4 is actually 9 marks, and the criteria tested as per explanation just now will be regarding the calculation, definition, right? Understanding. Okay, so here is also only the question I saw, which is regarding the definition, okay, or the question related to black body radiation. Okay, so maybe this question will give you the idea regarding the black body radiation. Okay, so diagram 4.1 shows the black body radiation curve will be this curve lah. You also can see the clear explanation from your textbook. Okay, so here the box will be visible light, and then another side will be UV ray and the infrared lah. So mark with tick for the correct answer in the box provided. Okay, so black body are the idea of electromagnetic radiation. So which is the correct answer here? You can choose absorption, radiation, or both lah here. Okay, so again, here you can referring again from the textbook for the definition. Okay, at the page 2024, you can see here I already show the page number already. So a black body is an ideal body that is able to absorb. So you see, absorb all the electromagnetic radiation that fall on it. Another one will be the second sentence here. A black body can also emit, so emits means radiate, okay? Emits thermal radiation depending on its temperature. So from the explanation from textbook, we are very clear. Okay, so the answer will be absorber and radiator. Okay, so that means this chapter you study textbook, you can manage to answer actually. Okay. And then the next question is based on the diagram 4.1. So the 4.1 will be this now. Compare the total energy radiated on the left side of the peak to the right side. Okay, so for this question, the peak will be at here. Okay, so the left side will be UV region, and then the right side will be the infrared region. Okay, so compare the total energy radiated. So you can actually referring to the area in the diagram here. So you can see the left side, the area is smaller. Okay, and then the right side will be bigger. So you just observe the diagram and then you can get your answer here. So total energy radiated on the right is greater than left. Here, the answer. And then the reason, just now I explained already. You can just explain regarding the area under the graph. So the area under the graph at the right side is greater than left. Okay, so this is the example question regarding the black body radiation, which actually you can see only this state. Okay, and then the C here will be the question regarding the graph about the kinetic energy against the frequency. So we can see this question is also quite popular among the question from our trial 2022. Okay, so that means if you do the trial paper, so you can manage to answer this type of question. Just now we have the popular question regarding photoelectric effect, and here will be the section 7.3, I think this one, okay, will be the graph regarding the kinetic energy against the frequency. Okay, so here actually the frequency can be changed the question as 1 over lambda. This is another indirectly question actually you need to understand here. But here we discuss kinetic energy against frequency. Okay. Okay, so let us read the question together. First, diagram 4.2 shows the graph of kinetic energy of photoelectron. Kinetic energy of photoelectron against the light frequency of 3 different metals, where W is a work function. So here will be work function. And then the F naught here will be threshold frequency. Okay, so based on the graph in diagram 4.2, what is the inference that can be made about W and F naught here? Okay, so inference, actually, we already discussed how to answer this type of question, right? At the paper 3 already. So will be, you need to write the RV depends on NV. Okay, so here you have to identify the RV responding variable and also the manipulated variable here. Okay, so here the students will be, sometimes they will take the MV as frequency of light because they always think that the axis X represented as the manipulated variable, but here will be wrong. Okay, so the manipulated variable here, you can see actually is a type of metal. We have metal 1, metal 2, and metal 3 here. Okay, and then another one will be, you need to identify the RV. So we have 2 RV here. So the first will be threshold frequency, which you actually can identify as the intercept X here. And then the Work function will be another RV here. Okay, so will be the intercept y here lah. So the answer will be the work function and threshold frequency, which is the RV for this question, and the MV here will be type of matter. So the working function and the threshold frequency depends on the type of matter. So for BM also the same lah. So kamu perlu jelaskan, kamu perlu identify, kena pasti. So RV soalan tersebut, okay? Gerak balas boleh ubah kepada eksperimen inilah. Dan kedua, jenis logam adalah MV dia. Okay? Okay, so here D will be the calculation question here. So the work function at the metal is 5.81 times 10 power negative 19 joule ultraviolet radiation with a frequency of 1 times 10 power 15 hertz is directed to the metal surface. So calculate the threshold frequency of metal. Okay, so the question given us the work function will be W lah. And then the question given us the frequency is for the UV ray here will be 1 times 10 power 15. So the question asks us about the threshold frequency of the metal. Okay, just now I already explained to you. So what is the threshold frequency? Okay. Okay, so here you must referring to your formula list lah. You like say you do not have any idea here. So you can see the question given us W and ask us to find out what is the F naught here. So you suppose have to select the equation number 8. And then the value H is given also, which is 6.63 times 10 power negative 34. So you just substitute to the equation, rearrange, and get the answer. Okay, so as we always advise students, at least you need to give 2 decimal places. You can give 3, 4. Okay, must minimum 2 decimal places here lah, and then with the correct unit here. Okay, so the first mark will be given for substitution. Second mark will be answer with minimum 2 decimal places and together with the correct unit here. Okay, and then the second, the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectron released from the metal surface, 3 marks here. Okay, so the kinetic energy maximum, you can choose the equation 7. So where the 1/2 mv square max here referring to the kinetic energy maximum here. So we take this equation, we rearrange lah because the question asks us about the maximum kinetic energy. So that means it will be HF minus W. So the H given by equation number 9, and then F given by the question, 1 times 10 power 15. This one is given. And then the W also given by the question here already. So here also given already. So we just press calculator and we get answer 8.2 times 10 power negative 20 joule. Okay, so this is exactly 8.2 we get lah. Okay, if we press our calculator. Okay, so for this 3 marks, the marking scheme given us first mark for this substitution, and then solve second and third. So that means sometimes we will see this type of question like only able to give 2 marks lah. But if the question given us 3 marks, we actually firstly encourage students to give the equation lah. Maybe it will be an equation. And the second, we have to ask students also lah to try calculate and show the further step before the answer here lah. So you must able to show at least how you get 3 marks lah. If I say you just showing substitution and the answer, sure you just get 2 marks. Okay. Okay, so the question 6 will be example question from Pahang Set 2. Set 2, And the question is regarding conception. Okay, the conception. So this question will give you idea. So what is a sample question for conception question? Although we don't see any question number 5, but question number 5 and number 6 is both will ask regarding the conception. Just the difference is the understanding and the calculation. Okay, so here question 6, diagram 6 show a graph for maximum kinetic energy. So again, the question asks about the graph maximum kinetic energy against frequency. Okay, for metal X, where F node is a threshold frequency, will be here. So the metal X is irradiate with A and B. So A and B here. So firstly, the question asks the meanings of threshold frequency. So threshold frequency, the meanings I also give and explain just now already. Okay, so will be this lah. The minimum frequency of light photon required to produce photoelectric effect. And then the B compare the frequency of light A and B. Okay, so here you can see very straightforward, like you can get from the diagram 6. Okay, so you can see frequency will be here. So the F will be increasing from A to B. So that means B will be have the greater frequency compared to A lah. Okay, so you can just mention A smaller than B like this lah. Okay, so okay, go deviation here. Yeah, okay, so very good. Deviation minimum frequency for an electric effect to occur. Yeah, okay. So compare the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectron emitted when irradiate with light A and B here. Okay, so again, we just using the graph, we compare kinetic energy. So be here. So you can see here, the A, the value will be 0.6 and the B will be 1.8. Okay, so it's also very straightforward. 1.6 is smaller, so which is A. So A is less than B lah. Okay. And the next will be relate the frequency and the maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron emitted. So here will be frequency B lah. B is greater than A. So that means when frequency increases, so you can see the kinetic energy maximum also increases lah. Oh, okay. So here is also very easy actually. Okay, for conception type of question, and you must able to score because you just need to observe the diagram given. So the greater the frequency, the greater the maximum kinetic energy of electron emitted. Okay. Okay, then for the C, work function of the metal X given with this value 1.66 eV. So you can see the energy unit is not in SI unit, and the question given you 1 eV is equal to 1.6 times 10 power negative 19 joule. Okay, so you can convert to SI unit for energy with the given value here. So the question asks you to calculate the threshold frequency F naught here. Okay, again, we can refer to our formula list, especially for question regarding calculation. So the question given us W, that means, so we just use this formula, we substitute. Firstly, we convert our work function from EV to joule, which is in SI unit. And then we substitute in the question, in the equation 8, and then we can get the answer 4.01 times 10 power 14 here. Okay. So again, advise minimum 2 decimal places and correct unit for your answer. Okay, so here we'll be able to get 2 marks lah. Okay, 1 mark will be for substitution, and then the second will be for the answer. Okay, and then the next question here, calculate the energy of light B when the light irradiate on the metal X. So again, here will be calculation, which formula we need to select. So will be this lah. Equation 7. Okay, so from 1, we get our work function 1.66 eV. And then from the graph, the Kmax will be 1.8. You can just look at the figure I'm showing you. So from the equation, HF equal to W minus Kmax. So this one will be Kmax lah. I showed you already just now. Okay. So, and another equation, E equal to HF. So that means this is E lah. We just need to add W and Kmax. So we get this. And then you change to SI unit. You get this value. Okay. So I think this one also very straightforward. If I say you just get the formula, you don't need to memorize the formula, which is I listed here lah. Okay. So you can just put everything in the equation. The problem here is you must be able to select the correct equation lah. Okay, so again, 2 decimal places and correct unit for your answer. Okay, and then D, what happened to the maximum kinetic energy if the intensity of light increases? So just now I explained to you already, the kinetic energy is depending on the frequency of light, and the intensity of light will be affecting the numbers of electrons emitted from the metal surface. So that means here will be no any effect lah. So will be remain unchanged. Tidak berubah here. Okay, so Cikgu Yani, we can take a break and continue later on.
Okay, kita akan berhenti seketika untuk memberi laluan kepada iklan. Kita tunggu tips-tips yang menarik lagi banyak daripada Mr Peh selepas ini.
Tuisyen online percuma. Tuisyen online percuma. Layari www.Akademi Youtuber bagi mengikuti tuisyen online secara percuma. Prasekolah, sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah, semua ada di Akademi Youtuber. Rujuk jadual di laman sesawang www.akademiyoutuber.com. Semoga masa terluang anak-anak anda diisi dengan sebaiknya. Tuisyen online percuma mestilah Akademi Youtuber.
Okey, kita persilakan Mr Peh semula. Ya, silakan Mr Peh.
Okay, so thank you. Di sini saya nampak ada Lecumi Jaya, ada Tivesh kan? Okay, so lagi ada yang lain-lain. So bolehlah kenalkan diri dan juga join discussion together with me. Okay, I saw is actually not as many as last Menjawab Technique 3, but I think it's also quite numbers lah. So thank you for joining my class. Okay, so I hope that you can get something benefit from my lesson. Okay, and also the tuition prepared by IU lah. Okay. Okay, so we continue question 7. Here we have another 2 questions, section A, and 1 question 11. Okay, so here is the sample question for question 7. So here is from section A and is question 6 from SPB. So that means also the question about the conception here. Okay, so we see what is the idea can get from this question. Okay, so diagram 6.1, 6.2 shows similar photo cell irradiated by light with different wavelength. Okay, so this question is quite similar to another question just now I showed SMKA, I think. Okay, but the way the question asked is different. Okay, so it's actually the relationship between the wavelength and the color of light. Okay, so actually this question, quite similar question I discussed in my live video subtopic 7.2 already at the checkpoint 7.2 question 4. Okay, you're interested, you can go and see the question. Okay, so here A, the question asks when light of the certain frequency is illuminated to cathode surface. Okay, so it's here, cathode surface, the light will be struck to the surface. The electron is emitted from the cathode. Okay, so name the phenomenon. You see, the question asking actually same theory, but the way the question asks from different state is different. Okay, so the answer is actually the same. Here will be photoelectric effect. Okay, and then the B will be the comparison between the diagram 6.1 and diagram 6.2. Okay, so the wavelength of the green light and the blue light. So this is also very straightforward question. You just observe the diagram given here. Okay, so you can see the green light, the wavelength given will be 565 nanometer. And then another one, the blue ray will be 467. So very clear, the green light will be greater than the blue ray. So you can just mention diagram 6.1 greater than 6.2, or you can just mention the green ray greater than blue ray here. Okay, so the second, the photoelectric current that flow in the ammeter, milliammeter. So where is the milliammeter? Will be here and here. Okay, you can see the 0 is here. So that means the value for the milliammeter in diagram 6.1 is smaller than the diagram 6.2. Okay, so you can just give your answer diagram 6.1 less than 6.2 with the unit, with the symbol here, and then the green ray will be smaller than blue ray, also accepted here. So C, calculate the frequency of the blue light. So for calculation, for the blue ray, you have to observe the diagram 6.2 here. Okay, so the question given us the wavelength for the blue ray here will be 467 nanometer. And then we have to select the correct equation for the calculation. So here we have to choose number 2. F equal to C over lambda here. Okay, so the C will be the speed of the light, which is equal to 3.0 times 10 power 8 meter per second. So it will be this lah. And then you have to change your nanometer to SI unit, which is meter. So you have to change to meter lah, which is times 10 power 9 here. Okay. So that means the answer here will be 6.42 times 10 power 14 hertz. Again, 2 decimal places is a minimum, and with the correct unit here. Okay. Okay, so second question. So here will be the compare the frequency of green light and blue light here. Okay, so here is a very straightforward question. You just need to observe again your 6.1. The frequency given is 5.3097 times 10 power 14. And then the blue ray, we just calculate the frequency will be 6.42. So we're very clear that the 6.42 is greater than the 5.3097. So here will be the green ray is less than blue ray for the frequency. Okay. Okay, so thank you, switch side. Okay, so you can understand. So I also will try to add on Malay. Okay, so thank you for your comments. Okay, for your encouragement comment here. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, and then the D, based on the answer in 6B and 6C, state the relationship between the wavelength and the frequency. So apakah hubungan antara panjang gelombang dan frekuensi cahaya? Okay, so from here you can actually get the idea. You just need to observe one of the diagram. So for example, I select the diagram 6.1. You can see the wavelength, which is 565 nanometer. And then compare the frequency from the diagram 6.2, so which is actually less than 6.2. So from here, you can see the relationship between wavelength and frequency will be the wavelength increases, the frequency of light decreases. So actually, you also can just give the answer. The wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency of light is also accepted. Okay, so actually this question also is you learn already at the chapter gelombang wave. So the relationship between the wavelength and the frequency is actually also the same. Okay, and then the second, the frequency of the light and the photon electric current here. Okay, so we have to compare. So here you can see frequency for the blue ray, which is higher. So the current at the emitter here is also higher. Okay, so the frequency of light increases, the photoelectric increases. Okay, so that means you actually can also using the diagram 6.1. You can see when the wavelength decreases, the reading of the milliammeter also decreases. It's also correct. So that means the relationship hubungan antara frekuensi cahaya dengan arus fotoelektrik adalah berkata terus. So that means you can using the directly proportional relationship, okay, for frequency and also the photoelectric current here. Okay, and then the next will be E. What happened to the kinetic energy of electron if the intensity of light illuminated to the surface of matter increases? Okay, so here asking actually the same question again. So it's the kinetic energy and the intensity. You can see we have already go through so many questions regarding the relationship between the kinetic energy, intensity, or frequency of light. So you must very clear already. So the kinetic energy is depending on the frequency, not the intensity of light. Okay, so tenaga kinetik elektron bergantung kepada frekuensi cahaya dan bukan keamatan cahaya. Okay, so here will be also again no change lah, tidak berubah. Okay, so we have go through so many questions about this already regarding relationship between kinetic energy, intensity of light, frequency, and also the numbers of electrons. So you must able to answer this type of question already. Okay, then the next question 8 is the example question from MISM, and this is the only question I found among the trial exam regarding the question in question 7, which is regarding the decision making. Okay, so let us read the question together here. Okay, so diagram 7 show the hydrogen line spectrum. So again, this question is also regarding the hydrogen line spectrum. Okay, but is in question 7 regarding the tested criteria about the modification. Okay, so color line form have specific wavelength. So here you can see the red line here will be 646, and then the shortest one definitely will be the violet ray, 410 nanometer here. Okay, so what is the meanings of quantum energy? Okay, so just now we already have many example questions regarding the definition of photon. So how about the quantum energy? So again, just now I already explained to you both the photon and photon energy. And the photon energy can refer to the quantum energy here. Okay, and this is a definition from the textbook also. So the quantum energy is a discrete energy packet and not continuous energy. Again, this picture just now I explained to you already. You can see the spectrum line, which is showing as quantized spectrum here. So there is a separate color of the light here, okay, and no overlapping, okay. And then for the continuous one will be overlapping to each other lah. Okay, then the B1 is a calculation question here. A color line from line spectrum of hydrogen atom has a wavelength 486 nanometer. Determine the photons energy of the color line here. So this will be the line going to calculate here. So again, you need to select the correct equation. Okay, so here we have to choose E equal to hc over lambda here. Okay, because the question given us the value already lah. So we choose this, and then h given by the equation 9, and then c will be the light speed 3.0 times 10 power 8, and then the wavelength is the wavelength for the blue color light here. So it'll be 486 again. Just now I mentioned already, you have to change the nanometer to SI unit, which is the meter. So you have to times 10 power negative 9 here. Okay. Okay, so the answer again advise 2 decimal places with correct unit. Okay, so here the joule you must use capital J. If you use smaller j, will be wrong lah. For others also lah. The joule referring to unit for energy lah. Small letter j will be wrong for all unit for energy lah. Okay, and then the next will be also the calculation question here. Okay, so based on your answer in 7B1, if numbers of photon emitted is 3 times 3, 7 times 10 power 18 per second, calculate the output power. Okay, so this is also one of the question I saw lah, is regarding the power, output power lah. Okay, so here you must know the units for numbers of photon for the equation. So be n, and then the p referring to power output. So again, you must able to select the correct equation here lah. So here will be equation 6. Okay, p equal to nhf, and together with the equation 1, E equal to hf here. Okay, so you can see the hf referring to E lah. So the final equation we're using will be P equal to NE. So we substitute N given by question. Here just now I show you already. And then the E will be the value where you get from your previous question. Just now you calculate EB1 here. So total, after you press the calculator, you get your value 1.38 watt, or you can give the unit which is joule per second also can. Okay. Then the next will be the decision making question. Okay, so here is only the decision making among the trial exam. Okay, so we can use this question as the sample for you to get the idea for the the decision making question here. Okay, so you must able to choose the correct solar panel here lah. So table 7 shows solar panel A, B, and C based on specification on table 7 here. Set the suitable characteristic of solar panel to absorb more light and convert to larger electrical energy. Okay. So firstly, work function of material. So which material you have to choose based on the work function. As per explanation just now, the work function will be the minimum energy required for the electron emitted from the metal surface. So that means if the work function is lower, so the electron will be more easier to release from the metal surface. So we have to choose the smaller one. Okay, so this is a figure I show just now already, right? Okay, so we have to choose the smaller. So you just choose big or small. Here got two options. Definitely 50-50. Okay, the chance to get the correct. Okay, so the reason just now I show you already lah. Because less energy required for photoelectron to emitted from the metal surface. Or you can just mention photoelectric occur easily. Or you can just give photoelectron release easily. But we not accept more photoelectron will be released lah. Because as I mentioned just now, the more electron released referring to the intensity of light. Okay, so here please avoid more photoelectron release lah. You can just mention easily lah. Okay, and then the next will be the surface area. Okay, so the surface area here we have two options, big and small. So for sure with the bigger surface, so that means will be more easier to release lah, compared to smaller. Okay, so we choose big lah. So firstly, exposed to more light. So that means actually here the wider region, so will be more light will be able to reach the metal surface lah. Okay, another one, just now I mentioned to you already, photoelectron emitted easily. Okay, so this is a answer for this. And then the next will be based on the answer 7C1 and 7C2. Okay, what is the work function? Okay, just now I explained to you, explained already on Jelin. So it's the minimum energy required by the photoelectron emitted from the metal surface. No? Okay, so if I say you still cannot get, actually just now I already showed the definition already. Okay, so I think maybe later on we also will see the same question because the definition will be photon energy, threshold frequency, work function. Okay, for this chapter J. Okay, so based on the answer in 7C1 and 7C2, so for sure that will be A. Okay, so I think the question regarding the decision making will be more easier compared to modification. Okay, and then we go to our last question, question number 9. Okay, so the question number 9 is not the question from the trial paper because we cannot get any example question. My copy lah. Okay, maybe other state I don't get lah. Okay, just now I show you I get about 15 set of question already, and I don't see any example question of from section B and C lah. So again, for section B, actually I already discussed one of the example question. You can just watch back my previous subtopic live teaching video. Okay, 7.2. So here I show you another sample question regarding section C, which is regarding the modification. So because we don't see any sample question from number 8, which is regarding modification also. So I just able to show the last question. Okay, so here diagram 11.1 shows an electrical circuit that contains a photocell and irradiated by light. So you can see the diagram. So this is a photocell. So and there is a light strike to the cathode of the photocell here. Okay, so the photocell will be the subtopic for 7.3. Okay, so the rheostat is adjusted until the reading of microammeter. So here we're using microammeter become maximum. So diagram 11.2 shows the same photocell. So that means both diagram actually is the same photocell. So that means they're using the same metal. So the threshold frequency will be the same. And they're using the same light but different intensity. So that means the same light referring to the same frequency and same wavelength. Just the intensity is different. So just now I already explained to you. So the intensity of light will be affecting the numbers of electrons released from the metal surface. So the higher intensity of light, the more numbers of electrons will be released. But the speed of the electron will remain the same as the frequency of the wavelength is the same for the light. Okay, so this is the idea you have to already in your mind here. Okay, so the first, when light with a certain intensity illuminated to the cathode surface in the photocell, the pointer of the microammeter deflected. So you can see when the intensity of light with 2 MW per cm square strike to the cathode, so both of the emitter showing diffraction, okay, with 2 and also 4. So what is the phenomenon here? So here you can see, actually it's the same answer just now I showed you already. It's a photoelectric effect, okay, because the light illuminated to the metal surface will cause the electron flow through, as long as the light, the frequency of light is above the threshold frequency of the metal. So for sure, here both deflected. So they will be got photoelectron flow through. Okay, so it will be photoelectric effect. Okay, and then the second will be the conception question, and which this type of question you must able to score full mark, okay, because you just need to observe the diagram. Okay, so using the diagram 11.1 and 11.2, compare the light intensity. 5 marks must be have 5 points. So here will be first reading of the microammeter. Frequency of light used. The relationship between the light intensity with the microammeter. Fourth, and then the last conclusion regarding the relationship between the light intensity with the numbers of photoelectron emitted. So here you must able to identify where the 5 marks you need to answer. Okay, so I already highlighted. So we go through the answer together. The first, compare the light intensity. So from here, you can see very clear that the 11.1 will be 2, 11.2 will be 4. So that means that diagram 11.1 is greater than, smaller than 11.2. So, but here you must mention the parameter. You cannot just leave the answer 11.2 greater than 11.1, which I just now show you at section A, because the section A, the question asking you separated. Okay, so you can just leave your answer 11.2 greater than 11.1. But here, if you just leave your answer with the with this, so no mark will be given, because the marker do know which parameter you're referring to. So you must give light intensity 11.2 greater than 11.1. Okay, and then the second will be regarding the reading of the microammeter. So from here, you can see very clear that, so the 11.2 will be greater. Okay, so you have to show parameter also. Microammeter readings 11.2 greater than 11.1. Bacaan microammeter lebih 11.2 lebih besar daripada 11.1 lah. Okay, and then just now I already highlight to you both of the figure using the same light. So using the same light, that means the color of light will be the same. So the frequency and the wavelength will be also the same. So the frequency of light is the same. Okay. And then the fourth mark regarding the relationship between the light intensity with the microammeter reading. So from here, you can see when the reading, when the light intensity is greater, so the value of the milliammeter deflected more. So increasing light intensity, increasing the microammeter reading here. And then the conclusion regarding the intensity with the numbers of photon electron emitted, just now I already explained so many times already. So you see again asking you at this question. Okay, so the question can be asked at any place as long as you understand. So here, the greater the intensity of light, the greater numbers of photon electron emitted. Okay, so this is what we can give you the example question at the section C here. Okay, and then the B will be diagram 11, 11.3. Here 11.3 actually is 11.3. Okay, shows the structure of the photocell. Describe how the photocells work. Okay, so this one also already you learn in the section 7.3. So firstly, you can look at the figure. We must have the light radiation here, right? So strike to the cathode. So the first point will be when light hits the cathode surface, a photoelectric effect occurs. So that means the electron will be released. Okay, and then move towards the anode, which is labeled at A here already. Okay, so the photoelectron are released from the surface, cathode surface. Okay, it will be, I draw already the electron on the metal surface C here, which is cathode. And then the third mark, when there is potential difference. Okay, you can see here we have a battery between the cathode and the anode here. The photoelectron is attracted to the anode. So that means the electron will be moved towards the anode here, A. Okay, so the photoelectric current is generated. So you can see the galvanometer is deflected in this figure. So here you will able to get full 4 marks here. Okay, and last will be the 10-mark question. Here will be the modification. Okay, if you follow my class and also Cikgu Hasnitah class, you must able to answer this type of question. And we always advise students, okay, for modification, you must get more than 5 character and more than 5 reasons. So that means you not just give the 5 plus 5 answer, you can able to give more, okay, for modification. Okay, so here diagram 11.4 shows the solar panel installed on the roof of the house will be this. So you are required to make suggestion how best way to install the solar panel on the roof of a house based on the following aspect. Okay, so here, what's the aspect you're going to discuss? Here we have 5. A supporter structure that is placed between the roofing and the solar panel. So we here. Then method of getting optimum solar energy. Method of obtaining continuous electricity supply. 4th will be additional tools to suit different type of home electrical appliance. And then the last will be solar panel wiring. So will be 5. Okay. Okay, so for understand this question, here I give you some idea. Okay, so you can see here the first one, definitely here this is a solar panel. So sunlight strikes solar panel on the roof. Okay. The solar panel then convert the light into direct current electricity. So that means firstly, we must have the photoelectron emitted from the surface of metal here. So that means when the photoelectron emitted, the current is flow. So the current flow from the solar panel here is actually direct current. And normally in the home appliance, we're using alternating current. Biasa dekat rumah, alatan elektrik kita menggunakan arus ulang-alik. So arus terus dihasilkan oleh solar panel. Jadi dia perlu tukarkan. Okay, so second, you can see a solar inverter convert the DC current to alternating current. So that means here we need to have the solar inverter. Kita perlu ada penyongsang solar, okay, untuk tukarkan arus terus kepada arus ulang-alik. And then the third one will be this. For this figure, the utility electric meter spin backward and record the net energy generated by the solar panel. It records the difference between the energy you consume and the extra that goes back to the utility grid. Okay, so utility grid, that means the normal electric we get from our generator. Okay, so here for this house, since is using the solar energy, so that means the electrical energy can come from the solar panel. Okay, so if let's say we have the extra energy electrical energy from the solar panel, so we don't use the energy from grid lah. Okay, and then the number 4, the net energy is stored as the credit for letter U. So that means here the number 4 actually you can referring it as a power bank lah. So the energy can be stored in a power bank, so you can use in future where you do not have enough electricity. Okay, so this is the idea. Okay, and then here another idea here is using battery. So here some of the area, especially the rural area, so there will be no any grid able to go to the place. So normally they were using battery instead of the grid. Okay, so this is the idea from this question lah. Okay, so let us discuss the question together. Okay, so the first question asks us to discuss the support structure that is placed between roofing and the solar panel. So you can see here, I show you the example already. So you need to fix a rail here. Okay, because when the solar panel have rail to supporting it, so that means it will be more easier to fix or replace lah. Okay, so this is the first. Second, method of getting optimum solar energy. So from this figure, you can see there is not anything block the solar panel. So that means we do not allow any tree or others object to block the sunlight. Okay, so that the solar panel is always get the maximum energy from sunlight lah. Okay, the third one will be method of obtaining continuous electricity supply. Okay, so this one just now I mentioned to you, we can using power bank or we can using battery. So they will be able to function when at raining day or in the dark condition. Okay, the fourth one, additional tools to suit different type of the home appliance. I also explained to you already. We need to have the solar inverter so that we can manage to convert the direct current to the alternating current, which is needed for most of the home electrical appliance here. And then the last will be the wiring for the solar panel. Definitely we're using the good electrical conductor, which is a copper or aluminum here. Okay, so again, we advise students to write your answer in the table. So the first, place on the rail, reason easy to install and replace. Second, method to getting optimum. So again, just now I explained, cutting down tree around the house that protect from sunlight from the solar panel, so that sunlight is always exposed to the solar panel all the time during the day. Or you can use another answer, the solar panel is automatically controlled by motor. So the solar panel able to function whenever the sunlight is sufficient. Okay. And the third one will be regarding the method of obtaining continuous electricity supply. So use the power bank or battery. The power bank definitely will be stored electricity, or you're using battery. Electricity is still sufficient on the raining night or day. And then the next will be regarding the additional tools to suit different type of home electrical appliance. As I explained just now, most of the appliance will be using alternating current, and the direct current will be produced by the solar panel. So we need to convert it to the alternating current. And then the last one will be wiring system. For the solar panel will be using copper or aluminum wire because it is a good electrical conductor which has the low resistance. Okay, so this is a advisable answer for this question. Okay, that's all for my sharing. So thank you. I pass back to Cikgu Yani. Okay, I finished already. Okay, Cikgu Yani.
Lupa tekan mute. Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Mr Peh. Okay, kita punya link dah masuk dah. Okay.
Okey, dah ada dah link CG.
Dah. Okay, terima kasih kepada Mr Peh atas perkongsian yang sangat padat dengan info yang menarik pada hari ini ya. Tahniah diucapkan kepada semua yang setia bersama kelas pada hari ini dari awal sehingga ke saat ini. Okay, sekarang link sijil sudah pun dimasukkan di bahagian chat. Sila isi link tersebut dan link tersebut akan tamat tempoh setengah jam selepas live ini ya. Pastikan anda menggunakan email yang betul semasa mengisi borang sijil. Okey, kelas seterusnya untuk subjek fizik adalah pada hari dan pada waktu yang sama pada minggu hadapan. Tolong sampaikan kepada rakan-rakan kamu semua ya. Sila layari www.akademiyoutuber.com untuk dapatkan info terkini dan jadual kelas tuisyen percuma ini. Jom kongsikan portal AYU ini kepada rakan-rakan dan guru-guru seluruh Malaysia. Okay, juga diingatkan kelas online percuma ini boleh ditonton semula melalui link yang disediakan di portal AYU. Okay, semoga kita mendapat manfaat daripada kelas-kelas yang dijalankan pada hari ini. Ingat hashtag bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. InsyaAllah. Kita ada penggulungan ke Cikgu Hasnitah?
Mr Peh, mungkin sepatah dua kata nak share kepada pelajar.
Oh, okay. So tadi saya sudah share perkongsian tentang bab 7 yang mana ramai pelajar rasa macam susah. Okay, so saya harap boleh membantu dan saya harap juga para pelajar boleh mengikuti jugalah siri ulang kaji, okay, daripada AYU ini. So next week kita sudah sampai Cikgu Hasnitah. Okay. Okay, ini sahaja daripada saya. Thank you.
Okay, Cikgu Hasnitah, kita sikit.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang. Pertama sekali, terima kasih kepada Mr Peh. It's a very well discussion. Jadi cikgu harap pelajar-pelajar manfaatkanlah apa yang dikongsi oleh Mr Peh pada hari ini. Siapa yang tertinggal bahagian awal kelas ini tadi, jangan risau. Anda boleh tonton semula siaran ini pada link yang sama. So anda boleh lihatlah bahagian mana yang anda tertinggal. Boleh tengok juga jawapan lengkap melalui link yang sama. Okay, dan jangan lupa teruskan bersama kami minggu hadapan. Kita ada 2 kelas lagi, iaitu seperti biasa kelas tingkatan 4 pada pukul 9.30 malam hari Jumaat. Minggu hadapan akan disampaikan oleh guru cemerlang kita Cikgu Nora Hafizan. Tajuk dia 6.2 tingkatan 4, iaitu 6.2 pantulan dalam penuh kalau cikgu tak silap. Okay. Dan untuk kelas tingkatan 5 hari Ahad pukul 2 petang, saya sendiri Cikgu Hasnitah akan menyambung ulang kaji kita skor A+ SPM. Jadi anda jangan lupalah tandakan pada kalender kedua-dua tarikh ini. Dan Cikgu Yani dan Mr Peh, kita nak ucapkan juga selamat menduduki peperiksaan ujian bertutur bahasa Inggeris kepada semua calon SPM di seluruh negara yang akan bermula esok 3 hari, Isnin, Selasa dan Rabu. Kemudian akan terus dengan ujian mendengar pada hari Khamis. Dan minggu hadapan akan bermulalah ujian bertulis untuk semua calon. Jadi kita ucapkan selamat maju jaya kepada semua. Yang penting bersedialah dengan sebaik yang mungkin. Gunakan, manfaatkan sepenuhnya masa yang ada dan paling penting jaga kesihatan anda. Okey, insyaAllah kita jumpa lagi.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Hasnitah. Okey, daripada saya sendiri, selamat mengulang kaji semua dan semoga berjaya menghadapi ujian bertutur kita pada hari esok, 3 hari dan ujian mendengar dan seterusnya ujian bertulis. Okey, tinggal beberapa hari saja lagi ya. Sebelum kita menduduki kertas fizik. Okey, jangan lupa ya. Okey, yang baik datangnya daripada Allah dan sebarang kekurangan datangnya daripada kelemahan kami sendiri. Sekian, terima kasih. Jumpa lagi di minggu hadapan. Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye.
Tuisyen online percuma. Tuisyen online percuma. Layari www.Akademi Youtuber bagi mengikuti tuisyen online secara percuma. Prasekolah, sekolah rendah, sekolah menengah, semua ada di Akademi Youtuber. Rujuk jadual di laman sesawang www.akademiyoutuber.com. Semoga masa terluang anak-anak anda diisi dengan sebaiknya. Tuisyen online percuma mestilah Akademi Youtuber.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi Youtuber.